What's going on, everyone? So, the Lakers in trades. Gotten a lot of reports recently that the Lakers are going to be aggressive, that they're going to be active on the trade market, that since Luka Doncic signed that extension, Lakers have a much more confident to go and make moves, take on, you're hearing talks about them maybe being willing to take on longer term salary. They're not just going to take on long-term salary, just take on long-term salary, but they're more willing to make trades, make moves to bring on guys that, maybe have, 3-4 year contracts. If those guys make sense, kind of elevate, right? Hearing Andrew Wiggins is kind of like the big talking name right now. And it's like, before it was like, the Lakers aren't really too interested. Like, yeah, they love it at the right price, but it's kind of, iffy. Now that Luka has that, it's like, hey, he's actually the most preferred target, right? Which I don't think the Lakers were worried about. And I actually talked about and made a video about this like a couple months ago now, that, once Luka signs, like, I do have my concerns that the Lakers kind of exhale, right? Some of you might remember that video where I was like, hey, like my concern is that you get Luka, he's locked in and it's like, okay, job's done, everybody, high fives all around, beers on me, right? Like, but what I hope is that the Lakers kind of keep their foot on the gas and are active in making sure that they find those trades, find those moves. Again, patience, let things develop, find those opportunistic trades and moves. But if those develop, make sure you jump on them. Make sure you take them, right? And with Luka Doncic now locked up, you're hearing more about the Lakers kind of putting their foot on the gas, which I'm excited for. Because I said that I believe the Lakers would do that, but there is that part of me that's concerned of like, hey, Lakers might take their foot off the gas a little bit. So I'm glad that they are willing to kind of put the gas to the pedal when they find their off-ramp, get the off-ramp, go pick up what you need to pick up, get back on, and let's go on the road for an NBA championship. But there was a report from the New York Times. According to teams and league sources, the Lakers' stance on roster improvements heading into this season has shifted because of the start of this new chapter together. Doncic's multi-year commitment has nudged LA's priorities in more aggressive directions. So this is great. Right? So you're getting another confirmed, just, hey, Lakers, after Luka signing, are ready to kind of, go for those punches. Ready? Right? They're willing to make those moves and commit to the type of trades necessary for this Lakers team. Now, I do think more likely than not, what's going to happen is a trade will happen closer to the trade deadline. It's where Rob Pelinka does his best work. It's where Rob Pelinka is most comfortable at. Right? Prices usually come down. Also, you look at the Lakers' assets. Some of the best assets that we have are the expiring contracts, which are a appreciating asset. So the closer you can get and the longer you can wait and hold off and then cash your chips in at the trade deadline, you're going to have more value. Like an Andrew Wiggins trade right now is a bit of an overpay. But by the time you get to the trade deadline and Miami's ready to unload salary and kind of retool and shift into next season, now all of a sudden it's like, okay, now you can get him for a reasonable price. And if it's not him, it'll be somebody else. There's going to be other guys available. There's going to be names that we're not even thinking about, we're not even talking about right now that are going to be available come the trade deadline. You're going to have teams that thought they were going to be good, that aren't good. You're going to have teams that are good, that don't want to be good, right? You're going to have those middle grounds. And then you're going to have teams that just certain players aren't working out, or they, players just get disgruntled, or there's a million reasons why some players end up on the trade market or the trade block come the trade deadline. Now, again, I don't necessarily want the Lakers to wait till the trade deadline if something comes sooner. Right? Be patient, go into the season, right? Lakers, there's a lot of things you want to kind of figure out. There's a lot of things you want to kind of see. Right now, it's very clear, or it seems clear at least, I should say, that we need an upgrade at the wing. We need athleticism. It's why Andrew Wiggins makes so much sense. Does he elevate us and make us a true title contender? That is yet to be seen, right? There is the potential of it. I do think on paper, it's probably one of the best, if not the best starting fives in basketball, right? At least paper's sake. But we've seen, even as Laker fans, right? We've had some crazy teams on paper. Paper doesn't always translate. You need all the pieces and components have to fit, and people have to accept roles and so on and so forth. So if that happens, that'd be great. But it'd be best for the Lakers to go into the season and really see what kind of rises to the top. Right? Maybe it is. We get, 2 months into the season. It's like, yeah, we really need an Andrew Wiggins, right? Or another guy, Miles Bridges becomes available. It's like, man, we really need Miles Bridges, right? There's the, hey, we need this guy trade. And then there's like, hey, we want this guy trade, right? If guys like Jake LaRavia, Jared Vanderbilt, Marcus Smart, guys like that can step up enough to alleviate, Rui Hachimura, actually towards the back end of the season was actually very good defensively for the Lakers. He just like nosedived come playoff time, but at least during the regular season, if you can kind of see if he can improve defensively and he's good enough, at least you now have the argument for, hey, it's not we need, it's now we're over here we want. So if that guy becomes available, it's like, hey, we want this guy, let's go see if we can get him. Right? Rather than, hey, we need this guy, let's see if we can go get him. Because now you're coming from a point where teams know, hey, you're in trouble, you're desperate, you need this. Right? You want to win this year? Well, guess what? We have the guy that can maybe help you in that regard. Where rather you're going into that conversation, going in that approach of like, hey, look at these guys, they are killing it for us. We're fine and comfortable in this spot. But we would love Andrew Wiggins, right? Say Jake LaRavia is really good for the Lakers. He doesn't have much experience, right? There's question marks come playoff time and stuff like that. Where Andrew Wiggins, he's proven. We know what he can do come playoff time. We know he can be, your second best player on a title contender and be in conversations for, finals MVP and stuff like that, right? So if you can go into that Miami discussion, get the right price and the right value, and also come from a place of like, hey, Jake LaRavia is killing it for us, but we love Andrew Wiggins for, the veteranness and whatever, right? To where we feel he could take us and put us over the top, right? Rather than, hey, we really need this guy. So to me, I think the Lakers should stay the course, be patient. If a trade opens up and develops tomorrow, then you take that trade and you take it tomorrow, right? But it's not something that I think that the Lakers need to rush into. Rob Pelinka's done a very good job of staying the course, being patient, and so far, over the last year or so, his patience has paid off. I mean, really, you could argue it's been the last couple seasons because he was patient with the Russell Westbrook situation, and it ended up leading us to a conference finals. Now, we don't play for conference finals, we play for NBA championships, but still, that drastic of a turnaround on the fly was good. His patience was rewarded in that regard, where he could have done the same Utah trade, but not gotten D'Angelo Russell, not got Jared Vanderbilt, and gotten Malik Beasley, who was a Rudy Gay, and Mike Conley. That's who it was. And I just don't think that would have had the impact that the Lakers needed. Maybe Mike Conley over D'Lo in hindsight, but still, D'Lo was also saved us in that Grizzlies series, and he was actually good in the Warriors series. It was that Denver series that really punished us. But point is, saw that, fast forward, and I say this regularly because it's true. If anyone's going to make a trade, it's Rob Pelinka. Right? Rob Pelinka's made a trade every season he's been in office but one. And it was the year that no one else made trades. Nobody. Literally, everyone that got traded didn't get traded. The only guy that was available that ended up getting traded later in the offseason was DeJounte Murray. And at least around that time. And look how that turned out. And look, if the Lakers would have made that trade, who knows what happens with the Luka Doncic situation, right? Because they want to, Austin Reeves and all this other stuff. Maybe you have to give up Max Christie in that trade, whatever, right? To compromise or whatever. Now you're not in that position. Yeah, you'd still have Anthony Davis, but now you have to trade and get off of DeJounte Murray. And if he has the Achilles tear or something like that, right? Who knows? You could argue maybe he doesn't have that because he's playing on the Lakers instead of the Pelicans, whatever. But the point is Rob Pelinka was patient and was rewarded with Luka Doncic. Right? Rob Pelinka was patient on the center front, was rewarded with DeAndre Ayton. I'm okay with the patience as long as it pays off. And there's a fine line between patience and being too overly passive. Right? You need to find that balance and be willing to jump on opportunities when they come. Look, said this, stand by it. If any team in the league, any team, it could be the worst team in basketball. If they would have gotten Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton in a, 5-month span, every reporter, every insider, every Laker fan, everybody would be like, give them the championship trophy now. Oh my gosh, right? The Phoenix Suns land, Bradley Beal, and everyone's like, oh, that's the best team in the league. Why are we even playing this season? And I was like, wait, time out. That team's going to be awful, right? And got called every name in the book and casual and this, that, and the other. One of us was right. But point is, like, again, if the fact that the Lakers got the number 1, number 3 pick in that draft, 2018 draft, and 2 guys that are like on paper at least match made in heaven. You couldn't make and sculpt a better center for Luka Doncic than DeAndre Ayton with his, offensive versatility as well as his ability to be that dunker in the dunker spot and be that lob threat, right? And then you add in some of the other pieces. You got LeBron James, who's going to be, the best second option in all of basketball, right? We'll see if Austin Reeves can coexist. But also that's other things. You want to kind of see, okay, which is why I'm okay with the patience. You kind of want to see what guys kind of fall out. Right now, Lakers, Austin Reeves seems to be their guy. But we could get 30 games in the season and start heading towards the trade deadline. And it's just like, this Luka Austin Reeves thing isn't going to work. So now the Lakers could look to go and trade Austin Reeves and now do that. Or, Rui Hachimura or whomever, right? Like maybe Rui Hachimura is the odd man out. And it's just like, man, Jake LaRavia and Jared Vanderbilt are they've just been too good for us. We need to look to get off of that. Or, maybe Jared Vanderbilt's the piece. Or, Jake LaRavia and Jared Vanderbilt. Like, you don't know who's going to be the guys that the Lakers are going to try to unload and get off of. Lakers have a ton of expiring contracts. Keep the foot on the gas. Let things come by. And when you see an exit, stop, fill up, get back on, and just keep it pushing, keep it trucking. But I love to see that the Lakers are being aggressive, being active, and are looking to make trades, and that now it's just waiting for those trades to materialize enough to where now the Lakers, it's like, okay, this is the move that makes sense. This is the move that we're going to make. Again, maybe that's the Andrew Wiggins trade. Maybe it's another trade. Maybe we get to it and we get close to trade deadline, and it's like, you know what? We got the small forward position locked up. You know what we really need is just like a Malik Monk type off the bench. Somebody that can just self-create, get you buckets off the bench, not be so reliant on Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Like I said, maybe it's Austin Reeves is the odd man out. Maybe it's, hey, we need a better backup center. We really do. Jackson Hayes is just not cutting it this year or whatever. Or, you never know how things are going to play out, what's going to materialize, what's going to end up happening. And so if you're the Lakers, again, stay the course, be aggressive, look for those opportunities, leave no stone unturned. Make sure you're doing your due diligence and looking into everybody and anybody, because you never know who that guy is. Right? All it takes is that, like, hey, what do you think about this? Like we saw with the Luka trade, and then all of a sudden Luka Doncic is a Laker. You get that opportunity. Hey, hey, would you ever consider trading this guy? On second thought, yeah, you know what, we might, right? Or maybe get that hang up, like, hang up, and a week later it's like, hey, you still interested? Crazy things happen. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. As always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.